you know.
I provide myself.
Okay. Oh, you've heard. Would you like some more?
I'm good. I'll drink. I'll share with him.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
If you do want, I've got some chilled water for you that I made sure. As you correctly read, you know, the resources.
I mean, we have been long here, working security, and there's communication breakdown.
Because we normally broadcast from.
No, I know, but the thing is, they are not told. They have not been told. Everybody been told. Radio 2000 is not here. I'm doing it. It's down there. So there's a breakdown.
Odd. That's odd. Because, okay, you know what? It doesn't.
No.
We are. I think
there's a communication breakdown through our 30 years.
You know, but that's, you know what? Let me just leave it because.
Ray Territory. With your traffic updates, I'm Rob Byrne.
This morning we are joined by one of South Africa's most multi-talented, most award-winning, esteemed actors who's graced both local and international audiences with his exceptional performances. Amongst his many roles, he's best known for his leading roles in the long-running soapy Generations as Achimoroka. I can imagine still today some people knowing South Africans, but some meet Achimoroka wherever he goes. And also on Scandal as a villainous character called Lucas Daniel Nyati. He also starred as the flamboyant Khositsile in The Queen. He's joining us today in studio. He's got a long resume. We've got some clips as well from Peloeahae, where he played the role of Dr. Mashobadiet. Oh, Dr. You remember Dr. Mashobadiet?
Of course I do.
And also Generations, Achimoroka. I'll give you the resume. It's very, very long, man. It's very long. It's an entire Bible. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined this morning by SELLO MAAKE NCUBE. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. You look excited. I try. Yo, it's cold. You guys look stunning.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Is this woman?
How you doing, sir?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's making sure you're
I'm alright.
Yeah, I'm good. This is
Lelo. Okay, yeah. It's the first time I meet. I know the name.
good to meet you.
Yeah, good meeting you, man. Good meeting you. You know, I used to hear you a lot on what's the 702. Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
702 yeah. Hey, your voice you can see the
Yeah.
Your voice you can see the
No,
He's
no.
got one of those voices.
You know.
Some DJ Frosh. His voice is distinct. Otherwise, from Mantole.
You've got a distinct voice yourself.
Oh, Naya.
Yeah, no. No, my grandman.
I'm glad we're doing this again.
No, you know, what a pleasure. What a pleasure.
Beautiful. You know, outside mobile.
Yeah.
So we're just connecting and just appreciating life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember the interview that we did, the world record. You remember at my Rosebank place?
Yes.
You visited us.
Oh, yes.
When we were setting the world record.
Yes.
Oh, the volume, sorry.
No, I have two memories. The one you put.
Yeah. The last voice note on her number, yeah.
And it has to do with, I think,
the soccer incident. Oh, the soccer incident that we're talking about. Oh, okay, nice. I like the fact that Cleo always contributes to the show.
Yeah.
It really means a lot. So my man is just appreciating life.
Yeah.
Just going way back.
Yeah.
So it's like interview that we did.
Right.
And you took us on a journey. I don't know if you remember that interview.
I know. Oh, well, I know.
I
can't repeat my brilliance.
Let's do this one. It's another memorable one. This one is going to be another memorable one for me. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go. Goes Nazi and then Lelo. Nazi Lelo.
Yeah. In fact, there's somebody who's Lelo, and I had to remember him by using your surname. He's Lelo, and I was like, okay, Lelo Mzaka, that's how I would remember you.
That's interesting.
Okay, ready now?
Let's go.
Bugwami la, ningasidlaleli la, ewe. Ningasidlaleli la, umsindo wenu la, ewe.
You can grab the headphones.
Ani Bingtonga.
Let me put it into context. When the lightning struck, it was only players from one team that got struck by lightning.
So what does this have? So what does this have to do with Rulani leaving Sundown?
I'm not making that link. I'm just telling you what happened at the
What
stadium.
does this have to do with Rulani leaving Sundown?
Players from one team. The others were unscathed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 7:16 on Radio 2000. Our music, your memory. Shout out to Booger Two Shoes. What an amazing brother. Thank you for being an amazing brother. You know, there's not a lot of people in the industry I'd call my friends. Kabelo is a brother and a friend. We always have chatted from time to time over the years. I just always want to acknowledge him and just appreciate the brotherhood and just his mentorship. You know, somebody who's your peer, but at the same time, they're like sort of your role model and your older brother. You know, I think 1 or 2 or 3 years, I'm not sure. Maria, Booger Two. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a legend in the studio. I don't know how to introduce this man.
Achimoroka. Achimoroka is here. That's all you have to say.
I'm good. And good morning to all the Radio 2000 listeners, and good morning to South Africa.
You're looking stunning, sir.
Thank you.
He looks like he exfoliates.
You
look like you exfoliate and cleanse, like you've got a nighttime routine. Your skin is popping.
Don't make me blush. Don't make me blush.
Like you moisturize your skin before you sleep.
And I know. I mean, you know one thing that is, but don't make a black man blush. He turns grey.
And you are salt and pepper. And you're carrying it very well.
No, thank you. Thank you.
He's
but
Jebefai.
one thing that you shouldn't forget is that I'm Sasa material now.
Wow.
Dude, next year I'm 65.
Wow.
Really?
Yes.
South Africa, can you believe Achimoroka?
There's no way.
I'm 65 next. But you know what was interesting?
There is your applause, sir.
Okay, thank you.
May God bless you. May live long for us. We love
Thank you, Smooth.
Thank you, sir.
You know, I think, memories that I have of you was even way before I met you. I think you were still at, was it YFM?
The excellent daughter.
Yes. And I used to listen to, between 2001 and 2006, I was in the UK.
Yes, sir.
So I used to just to connect with home on the internet, listen to YFM.
Yeah.
You know, and one of the interviews that really struck me was the one that you did with that boy called Home Affairs.
Oh, you remember?
He was talking about it. He was talking about it just
that
the other day.
interview, was like, I don't know.
It was a hostage negotiation situation.
So it was a real thing. We thought he was making up the story.
No.
It was a real.
I did say we should make a movie of that.
That's a movie, yes.
That's a movie, say. And, I must be involved when you start doing it.
But it's your idea.
To put it into context.
It should be a movie, exactly.
He went into the Home Affairs with a toy gun, being sick and tired of not getting his ID.
ID,
at the Home
exactly.
Affairs. And he held people hostage. We didn't know that he had a toy gun.
But that's the thing about, there's one thing that we don't realize, and we haven't analyzed South Africa's, psychological landscape.
Yes, sir.
Why do we actually have got to be driven to desperation?
Yes, sir.
And especially in the new dispensation.
Where
You
the
know.
Banazarona can't even get that
You know what I mean?
Hopefully
that's
things will change.
let's hope it does.
When an
But in
ID
the
unlocks
last
so much opportunity.
I always kind of make a certain example. Yeah, I read a book called the Super Afrikaner, and that book tells you the stories are the Afrikaner Bruder Bond. I mean, look at this guy. The organization was formed 1918, in 30 years' time, and when it was formed, it was a cultural and I mean a cultural organization for the preservation of the Afrikaner language and the Afrikaner culture.
Yes, sir.
That was its aim. But look at how it worked itself to political power in 1919, and it did that within 30 years. And when you look at the mission of the Afrikaners, had 1976 never happened, 1976 was a disruptor to their mission.
Because it could have probably continued all the way.
I mean, they would have finished 30 years of their mission.
Sure.
Because now, I mean, you look at what they did, 48 to 58. That's 10 years.
Yes, sir.
58, and they were clearing by blocks. You know what I mean? Cleaned up Sophia Town and all those things. I mean, other things, and passing the racial laws. And then 58 to 68. That's 20.
Yes.
So now from 68 to 78, that was going to be like 30 years. And by that time, well, what happened now? 76 happens, and they were what is it that they were doing? They were going to impose Afrikaans. So Afrikaans was going to be the official language, and we were just going to be all speaking Afrikaans. So the mission now, the preservation, was going to be now complete of the Afrikaner language and the Afrikaner culture in one way. Because once you've got language, you've got a key to a culture.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you heard it. That is the legend himself. That's the person we're hanging out today all the way until 8 o'clock. You know him as Achimuroka. We know him as Ntate SELLO MAAKE. Others know him as Dr. Mashubarieta. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back on the other side with...
What do you want from an insurer? Affordable premiums and awesome service when you claim, right? Here's what real clients say.
You know what was interesting about I was listening to you guys when you were talking about Rulani. Rulani can want to KK song.
I didn't know. He just told me this morning.
KK song making one now. Is the brother or not the thing? It's a brother. Oh, it's a brother. Okay. All right. Okay. And now Jomo. Tamalagi Scaraso.
Yes, and the name Scara, I mean, in football circles.
Yes, but Scaraso.
Yes.
My father used to play football.
Yes.
And he used to play for Orlando Pirates. He was one of the best goalkeepers.
Yes.
Anybody who knows Pirates from Scara's time, they will tell you of Joseph NCUBE.
Wow, and that's your dad?
That's my dad.
Interesting. Interesting.
Wow. Live read next.
Okay, go ahead. Live read. Let's go. Go now.
Are you tired of being declined for finance? Will don't let blacklisting or debt review hold you back any longer? SMS Clear Me to 33585 and Debt Clear SA will be here to clear your name and to unlock your financial freedom. SMS Clear Me to 33585 to be removed from debt review or blacklisting. T's and C's apply.
Every day at 7:15, take advantage of this opportunity or promote your business for 50 seconds. That's 50. Tell us what your business does, what product.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Come on.
Fist bump. No, like so sharp.
The resume is too long. I forgot. Oh, by the way, Grootman.
Yeah.
When we are chatting off air, the camera is recording. So
Yeah.
the YouTube version of the interview will have us talking off air. The radio people cannot hear obviously now as we're talking.
Okay.
But the camera grabs.
All
so
right, okay.
For the people who want to watch it on YouTube, obviously they can still hear. The interview continues.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to say to you, the resume is too long. Like it's,
No.
it's
Come on, hey. It happened.
It happened, and that's the past.
You know one of the strangest things, not strange, and when I bemoan that, for me, what I've done is done. What's next? I always focus on what's next.
What's next?
And to an extent, now I didn't even collect my write-ups and all that. You know what I mean? Which was, but yeah. That is the thing, you know what I mean? That is the past.
And it went by so quick, ne?
Yeah,
it went by so quick.
And I'm like,
it went by so quick.
I'm now, even maybe almost now, I'm the same age that Paul Moroka.
The character.
I'm actually playing other people's dads now.
And
I started as somebody's son. Now I'm,
Yo, it's so interesting that you also played an international role in the scene.
Lion King. What you mean Lion King?
Yeah, Lion King.
Lion King, and also did Othello with the Royal Shakespeare Company. That is the creme de la creme of British theatre.
And Pastor Law, you studied there in the UK, ne?
And I just studied there. I did my Even when I listened to your interview, I was a student. That's why I could even listen, because I would be writing, because I did my master's in screenwriting.
Yeah.
So when I would be writing, I would turn on, internet, listen to 702.
What's going on at home? Man?
What's going on at home, and just even picking up the vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then, how long were you there for?
5 years.
5 ein.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 ein. Was that Generations that happened at the time?
Well, Generations, I left Generations, I think 2000.
Yeah, 2000.
That's the strangest thing.
Oh! Already?
What? That's crazy.
That's crazy, bro.
People think that I was in Generation like the whole time.
Yes.
And I was in Generations basically from 94, and I also even left after the 3rd series because I had a fight with Mfund, with the producers. And then they called me back in 1998.
Yeah.
So I was in 1998 up until 2000.
Yes.
And left.
Yes.
So I wasn't there Bokoni basically lived through it.
Yeah.
So you were there for how many years?
For 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you,
That's
because
crazy.
There's no way.
No, let me tell you. No, it's actually 5. Because the first time, Generation used to play once a week.
Okay.
So they would do 52 episodes, which would play for the whole year. And then, so we did 1, 2, and 3. It was when they went into the 4th season that I had a fallout with them. And I think they called me back, for season 6 or 5 and 6. Yeah, and I was there for 5 and 6, and that was it. And I was out. 2000.
All right, let's go.
I feel like I've been watching you all my childhood.
I know. Isn't that strange?
Radio 2000, our music, your memories, ladies and gentlemen. That's 6 Bantuini, Nana Ata and Karienda Soul Imali. 29 after 7 o'clock. Let's go. Let's go here. This is the winning
song, everybody! This is the one. Never mind the other one.
Between Msawawa and...
Hey, man, you took me back. When you played the Tolaganjan.
Man, those three.
I was saying to my wife that the SMS language of our time was in numbers. Okay, before 5, push I 6, 9. And they are 9. And they are 9 in.
What is interesting for me is that you're saying you were not on Generations for longer than 5 years.
No.
In my mind, it seems like you were there
Our entire childhood.
No. I would say not longer than 6 years, because I think I was there for 3 years. Season 1 and 2 and 3 actually played one episode a day.
Yeah.
So we would record, I think for 3 months, record 52 episodes, and they will play it for the whole year.
And you used to record here at Henley Studios?
Here absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then I came back, I think 98, and left 2000.
And then went to the UK?
And went to the UK.
What were you studying?
I went to the UK to do Lion King.
Yeah.
So I did Lion King for 1 year. And then the 1 year, I did part Othello with the Royal Shakespeare Company, and did like a couple of plays. Went back, I think, for a little bit at Lion King, and then went and studied masters in screenwriting.
Ladies and gentlemen, is the legend. His name is SELLO MAAKE. He's in studio.
But I'm a yellow bone.
What do you make of this? So what do you make of this saga now with Rulani being let go by Sundowns?
I think it is a sad state, of our South African soccer. And basically, I was listening to, I think, clips of his interview with Robert Marawa. And first, let me say, Baba Hambu Kulman Babumkulu. Because I could hear in his voice.
Yes. He was hurt.
He was hurt.
He was very hurt.
Yeah. So but I saw it coming. I mean, as they talk about the match that with it was Pirates and things.
Yes, and Sundowns.
And with the substitution or whatever, I could see that Sundowns. Every team has got its time when it actually they
dip, yeah.
They dip
in form.
And I saw that Sundowns is going to actually end up going into that kind of phase. But those for me were the signs of saying there's something not right now. Something's not cooking right.
Interesting.
You know.
Interesting. Now, still with football news, the Simba SC has appointed.
Exactly. You know, and he couldn't speak out his heart. Yeah. You know, and that's one thing. That's why he needs talking cure.
5 seconds, Sis Boo.
Okay, cool. Get ready?
Visit a TechWeed and enjoy the Durban July Grand Experience weekend. Don't suffer from FOMO, as Durban is where the sun shines bright and the fun never ends. The city has pulled out all the stops to ensure a safe and unforgettable experience, from horse betting to a fashion show extravaganza and endless entertainment, including township vibes. Great adventures lie ahead. Durban has you absolutely covered. So let your head down at Fact Durban Rocks any given Sunday, anywhere in the city. Ekasi Durban July and many more events that are guaranteed to be the talk of the town. Log on to www.visitdurban.travel, or you can follow at Durban Tourism on social media. Visit Durban. It's Africa's leading festival and event destination.
Top story stays the same with big news out of Germiston and Albert to the S1 and M3 route gently back to swing up
You know that this is whatever, I don't know, music.
Yes,
it's a Pat Metheny.
Yes. It's beautiful.
I mean, the whole thing, just putting it into a nice, contemporary vibe house song.
That is just timeless.
I tell you.
Timeless.
Have you ever tried music?
Eh?
Because I know in art school sometimes, as much as they can train you to be an actor, there's also some music that you do.
I mean, my first acting job, working with Gibson, you did musicals.
Oh,
Gibson
Kent.
Oh, that's where I debuted.
That's where you started, okay.
That's where I debuted, and it's fun.
He was ahead of his time, that man.
He was ahead of his time, but also I think he hasn't actually really been appreciated enough. What he has done. I mean, well, okay, they've named Soweto Theatre, the main theatre after his name, but he was not about being named in a building. He was about the work that he has created, and also what his contribution in actually making society to reflect on itself.
So what would be the best way to honor him then?
Hey man, do his plays like Shakespeare.
Yeah. Remember
Mama's Love.
Mama's Love, and they put it on TV.
Yeah. And you see, like, I think there and where for me, there he couldn't transform.
Yes.
From what he did on stage. Was what he did on stage. I mean, with Gibson, we're doing musicals, performing in halls, not theaters. And can you imagine singing with a band without mic? That's what we were doing. And what he employed was almost employing an operatic approach into performance. The whole thing, I mean, what, mama, and whatever they over-animated, over-exaggerated. Yeah. So Smomoza, he actually took that genre, and I think he was actually thinking, let me spread this wider. But also, I think, when they say a generation... It was intentional. It was intentional because...
What was it intended to do?
Because, I mean, when you're performing at a hall, I mean, we perform AOT Cinema. It's a 1,000-seater. For instance, and the halls basically that we performed in, basically, packed, and now you had to make sure that you perform in order that the other person, everyone should actually see, But things have changed. Things changed, but he couldn't change with the time.
All right, let's go. This is not just a normal day. We're hanging out with a legend. We're celebrating his life, celebrating his works. An incredible human being, legendary in that SELLO MAAKE. Actually, let me snitch, by the way.
Don't lie about anybody. Don't lie about anybody. Can we talk to SELLO MAAKE about his craft?
I wanna see if he remembers these clips. Let me do this. Remember this?
Ke go bona semanaga se ba thomile.
Doctor, balwetse ba le bane bjale.
Okay. Abi, ke na go bona balwetse bjale. Sepla le seboka go ba yo bapala ka ntle.
Mpiri ke tša koleng ke go bapala dikasete ke kwa koleng.
Cassette.
My pretty little thing. Mrs. Mashwadieta.
Mrs. Mashwadieta. Remember this one. Remember this one. Remember this one. This one. Remember this one. Remember this one. Inside. Mission is 2000. I want to play this one. Let me play it. Let me play it. Listen to this one.
What was she trying to achieve? Putting me through hell the way she did.
Hagit. But what made me suspicious was the fact that she wasn't showing.
I am such an idiot. She's been leading me on by the nose for months.
You want to see me? Is anything the matter?
You're damn right. Something's the matter here. You lied to me, you
Yo.
Would you please excuse us?
Sure.
Keep away from me. I know you're not pregnant.
But of course I am, darling. I showed you the picture of our baby, didn't I?
Whatever you got that, I don't know. Maybe you've asked Frank Guzana to steal that for you as well.
Frank Guzana? Who's that?
Oh, you know damn well who it is. You can't fool me anymore. You've played your sick game long enough.
Oh, darling, I did it all for you because I love you so much. I can't live without you. Don't you understand how much I need you?
Hey, don't ever come near me again.
That's you and Zeke.
Hey.
I was Pamela Nomvet.
It's so amazing that we're not even seeing them, but we recognize your voices. You guys are iconic.
This is playing. I wanted to do Macbeth with Pamela being Lady Macbeth.
Yeah.
I think that would have rocked.
What memories come to mind when you hear this?
Huge. I always say to when I speak to the incubators, young actors that I'm training with my incubation, I said the word actor was broken down for me by Baba Mngani, and he said A is for action, C is for creativity, T is for technique, O is for observation, R is for reaction. As an actor, you use all those things. But the most important that an actor has got to learn is actually observation. And observation is outside and inside, external and internal. Internal is basically you observing how you're feeling. When you get angry, a normal person just gets angry, and that's it. But when you get angry as an actor, you're like, oh, so this is how I am. So you remember the sensation. So in a very amazing way, like I'm reliving the emotional sensations that I was going through when I was, doing all those things.
But what is your method though, right? Because some people, we've heard you some people who've done movies like yourself,
they get into
will get on set and they'll assume that role from the time that they start to the time that they rap. What's your process?
I don't work.
What's your process?
Basically, you see, like the people who get into character.
Yeah.
I don't get into character.
What do you do?
I focus on the series of actions that I've got to do.
Okay.
And once I've done them, they're done. If the scene is whatever, scene is over. I mean, one lady was, what do you call it? Continuating. He was actually saying, you are amazing, especially when I was doing The Queen. He said, you are amazing.
You are amazing on The Queen.
And he said, you are amazing in a sense that, before a take, you're like, hey, yeah, man, hey, yeah, but okay, we're shooting 5. And then cut.
Immediately get into
and when it's a cut, it's like itada. And so that's it.
Is it years of doing it?
It's years of doing it, and also understanding that my series of actions as SELLO are different from the character. You know what I mean? When I'm playing a character, it has got this is what happens in his life. At the end of a cut, ang padalang bond, ang padalanga ini. Exactly. I've got baby mama drama.
Yeah.
That's my reality. And those are the series of actions that I've got to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
So you've also played roles almost everywhere in the world, right? You've shared your craft, rather.
Yes.
Almost everywhere in the world.
Right.
Is there a role that you feel like you still have not played, like a dream role, like a role that you feel like you'd like to still assume and ace?
You know what? It's actually about stories.
Yeah.
You know, I saw Nothing But the Truth, I think, in 2000. And I was 40 years old. And I was watching Dr. Kani playing, doing the show. And I remember sitting in the audience, I want to leopard le. You know what I mean? And then I ended up doing it.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, it's actually, the stories that are appealing to me.
Yeah.
I'm doing the suit now, and it's a role that turned my career around. And I did it we first did it in 1993. So this year we went to Grahamstown, and basically I went to Grahamstown in 94. And the play is celebrating 30 years. Being around. And I haven't done it since I did it in 94. So I revisited the role. And as I revisited the role, when somebody writes their memoirs, they recall moments as they were. But this is one moment that I recalled and reconnected with, but almost rewriting it.
What do you mean turned your career around?
My approach to acting.
Before you continue, I just want to take a break. Let me just pay the bills. Just going to be back in a
Set in a gleaming new high-tech trauma center that deals with
that like moved you from being like an ordinary actor to a household name.
No, not Generation did that.
Oh, Generation did that.
But for me as an actor, in my approach to performance, that is the role. That is the role. Because
what was your approach before? What changed?
That role, it is one role that I kind of, let's say, when at that time when I was 34?
Yeah.
Or 33 when we first did it. So that was one role that I sort of like went into that hole that I'm getting into character. But I got into character so much that somehow I later found out that the character was still with me even when I went home.
My daughter.
And I had to sleep first in order to actually regain myself as who I am. I can't tell, why.
That sounds like an out-of-body experience. That sounds like
It is.
That sounds spiritual.
And one thing that I say, when I'm in the theater, for me, it's like, it is one moment where I kind of feel closer to God.
So it is spiritual?
It is spiritual. Because for that moment, before I learned one thing, a phrase that there but by the grace of God goes I. So when I go on stage, that is what I say.
Or use the 1,500
and then from that moment
one of our
on, the beginning of the play up until the end,
to qualify,
I'm not
simply purchase a comprehensive eye examination
that
and
person's
prescription
journey.
lenses. Book online or call your nearest store today. Specsavers, affordable eye care and a whole lot more.
Access, boo, lelo, Ronnie here in Pretoria.
Yebo.
Akele uzela khorotmanoro, ufila yanga tabaya ya highly ale talk Mr. Khanyao li the way I treat Matua Khali. Is he not getting challenges outside with people rejecting and hating him for the role that he's playing because you are bapalamunati mare kuku bafuitu.
I know.
Good morning, the breakfast show.
Morning.
The biggest show in Africa.
Morning.
Buddha,
Sure.
Lelo, Mamskibirigi, Arale Wahujisa, this legend in the studio. That the MAAKE.
Papa.
Aye, that. Relevo hela contribution to this industry.
Thank you.
Levo to Waha that.
Thank you.
Remember the first time I met you in person?
Yeah.
Neresh with this documentary, Lions of Njombe.
Oh,
that Relevo. Gijangimu from Pretoria.
Okay, thank you.
Morning, the big breakfast show. Morning, Lelo. Morning, Mamas Kavengu. Morning, DJ's Buddha.
Morning.
Esbu.
Sure.
Lomuti legend.
I know.
These days, he's no longer a Jim Rocker. Get Dr. Khanyao. Professor Khanyao. They call him Professor Khanyao. The 2000s knows him as a Professor Khanyao. You know what I like about that man? He's always articulating his words in these interviews. Every time when I listen to his interviews, I just smile because I know that I will hear something that a man thinks before he answers. You know, you can hear what he's saying, that he knows about what he's saying. Anyway, thank you very much for bringing in that legend. I hear he's gonna be 65 years younger soon. Raurata and SELLO, MAAKE NCUBE.
The biggest breakfast show in the land. Good morning to the team and to the listeners, and also to your guest, Mr. SELLO MAAKE NCUBE. Good morning. Here is Gubu introducing Mr. Achi. But I think you're only introducing him more by the youth and Dala, or who you're chilling with. Hey, introduce him in such a way that everybody can know him, even the youth and Amtlanje, the over Miazega Khan. Mr. Khanyao. So you must let them know Khanyao is in the building.
In the big breakfast team, DJ's Buddha. Namskebeng Lelo. Oi hoi. You guys brought the legend, Mr. SELLO MAAKE NCUBE. Inja yekim. Nake mukhopola ele Sting. Ko this other drama. Xaopola never king. Navula ka kiki mole. Nashapa kiki one way. Kichabu from Hammanskraal. Oi hoi.
Hola, scoop, hola, mamskebeki. Hey, Tresha Pang. Hey, Buffet to give him from Cape Town. I na time, I get time because he's old enough to be my father, that man there. Since he'll be like 65 very soon. Yeah, and that man, he has done his thing, man. Yeah. He has done his thing. I remember him way back also. There was this action drama.
One of those Bible University or whatsoever. Please remind him that they more Horace Budaulari. Ruto Kaikarabella Kahore today, Mamskebe.
I wanted to snitch on you.
No.
She called it Dr. Kumar. No.
You should call me that.
I didn't call you that. It was actually, you heard the listener.
Yeah.
Uti, what he said. I said nothing. I said
Dr. Mashubani.
No, but it was a
What
character's name. Look, I mean, I think actually, swallow my words. My wife is looking at me because she knows there are certain things that we can talk about. Hello, baby.
Oh.
My wife is in the studio.
Looking stunning, by the way.
Look. Those guys, what they were doing, basically, they were honoring me for whatever they thought of me. And basically, they looked at my life, bona kabu bona, be it in Tungela. The only problem it is what the Department of Higher Education and Training, how they view those people. So it has to do with that. You know what I mean? And I think what I found sad was for the minister to use me.
Yeah, I was very disappointed also.
He used me.
Yeah. But let me say this.
Why do you feel like you were used? I want to understand
No,
that
he used me to actually play his own politics.
Okay.
Of this, exactly. Because what he needed to do was go to those people and never bring my name into the whole fray. And now I am seeming like I'm the one who's being fake.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
It was either if they regard the university as fake, he should have dealt with that without using my name.
Is it not
And
because...
the whole thing got traction because of my name.
Is it not because you had posted about it? Remember, it
As much as I did.
It could win because...
People have done the same.
Okay.
People have done the same who got them. It is not because of that.
Okay.
He was wrong in doing that.
And there were other famous people who had received
exactly
PhDs and
whatever
and
being
honored by the school.
Okay, I hear you. I also congratulated you.
Yes, I know.
But then it came up. But then UJ, vet, or whatever institution, let's fix this thing. The man deserves his flowers. The man deserves it with all of the incredible work. His resume, I can't even read it. I usually read a resume for 1 page when it comes to a lot of our guests. His resume is 5 pages here, which I can't even read.
Because he's done things all over the
so
world.
So much, you know what I mean?
All over the world.
It's a bit we're not on a podcast. We would have a lengthy and
we will have it.
You know, you know what I mean? But one thing that people must okay.
Your people want to speak to you. South Africa. Davasha Socias, I know you want to speak to the legend. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Thank you. He's here.
Hey, good, man. Hey, Mom's Kibirigi.
Hi, Davashe.
Are you good?
Well, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Hey,
Kulum.
Yeah, tell me, bro.
Kulum.
Are you good, man?
I'm super good. I'm super.
Hey, no,
Fanele sokhuluma indaba manje. Fanele sokhuluma indaba shesha ndoda. Shesha.
Yeah, man, that's a gent, man. Making a cover to ride, man. That's steering, that's a gent.
You know, I'm what I am, my bra, because of you. You know, when you, they saying umuntu ngabantu. Without you, who am I? And for you, thank you, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you for we appreciate you. Thank you, my brother.
Essential cover from our insurance pays our claims in cash, allowing.
And now my thing, I became the face of fitness.
When we're on air, please don't block him.
Okay, yeah.
Because he can't see the guest. Maybe stand, it's better that side.
I posted.
Or maybe when you do stand this side, give me space to see the guest.
I think they were also getting flagged with the whole NSFAS thing. Remember, there was the whole, So I think.
And he should have actually maybe put it in context.
Yeah.
To say, you know what? It is not that I don't recognize that he deserves it. It is because of the institution that started.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Separate the issues.
I hear
it.
They do that. I'm a politician.
I hear it now. I hear it now.
Yeah, they do. But then again, he's back.
No, but you must remember, he was also getting a lot of flack at the time, so I think he just needed to be a superstar.
You know? And then he got the trust.
Because also politicians need some kind of
relevance.
Yes,
because everyone was on his case, remember?
Yes, remember. There was the NSFAS saga, there was a lot of things, man, how he may have been involved. There was a lot of.
And then you needed something to deflect.
Yes,
it.
He succeeded in doing it.
He did.
No, but a lot of us saw it.
I did not immediately see it, I'll be honest.
But we said it. We joked around that university, but then we said, how can that was distasteful of the minister to have done it that way? Why couldn't he pick up the phone and
unless he never even pick up the phone to say, you know, dude, this thing, it's not about you, but I have to deal with this.
But they like the media, especially Blindsman. Blindsman loves the media.
I'm not politician.
But sometimes
some more than others. But some who love it.
Is it?
More than others. They love it.
Mhlawumbe upreparative from kudala nisese into yakudala mhlawumbe ake khobinyana into zakudala
khona umuntu wesazana
fanele waze wathola ishati
I tell you, I think,
those things happen, it's life.
No, absolutely.
I sat down with Ulonu Upram to suffocate.
Yeah.
At the final, I was invited to podcast nyabonga ne. At before the podcast iqala. For many years ngikufuna bengukwatele sibu. Mina ngikhohliwe riding angisacavi. I think it's something that happened 7 or 9 years ago, something like that. It's just a metro or something. I think I'd read a story from Sunday World. Why shy media? When you on air as if ni yenzi Sunday World, and you know better. From then on, for a long time. So sometimes those things happen. You live your life, you're not even aware.
No, absolutely.
But I'm glad we got this opportunity, and I wanted to tell you face to face. Squash on camera. No, it was good on camera because we squashed it. It became emotional. We hugged, and then we moved on with life. And now we're like close.
Why didn't you do it off air?
No, he said, but from guy to guy, you do it. You do it.
No, you
face to face.
Oh,
Unrespected how we
I'm
did
just
it.
saying, face to face still, but off camera. Why was it important to do it on camera?
Because
it's me who encouraged them to.
Yeah.
On the record.
It's me who encouraged them.
Yes, on the record.
Because you said this publicly.
Whatever, yeah.
You need to apologize
publicly. And I did apologize. And we squashed it. And then we became close. Like now we're closer than ever. You know? Yeah, me too. Now we're closer than ever. Like nyamnganya, you know? Even back then, but then you say things, you keep it moving.
Yeah.
Kandabantu, there's just that thing. So I don't have. I'm coming up late. Something. Now you never know. From a distance, someone is like Lenzo.
Sometimes you need a
we are called
Yes.
But did you then write to them? Did you let it? Did you make your discontent?
I'm dealing with it. Yeah, I did.
Because that's also important.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
I mean, I never trained, but basically by reading I've read the books on acting that I've read, and I'm still reading even now. You know what I mean? That is the training that you get, but also knowing how to name what you're doing.
What does that mean?
Basically, what I'm saying is, somehow when like I was talking about remembering sensations in acting, they call it sense memory.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So now I know a terminology for what I'm doing.
Yeah. Would you not say that working under Gibson Kente was a training?
It was a training, yes.
Yeah.
You know, and of its own kind.
Yeah.
And the one thing that hasn't been done is actually breaking him down to actually understand why he made the certain kind of choices. And he's not here even to speak for himself. And somehow his style of acting is actually getting criticized. You know what I mean? But he was actually, and even with acting, when you look at the acting of the Katharine Hepburn, even in the West, it differs from acting that is done by Meryl Streep.
Was he not getting criticized because of what you had said maybe before, Ndabana, that evolving from that very exaggerated acting to something that evolves with the times? Is that not where the criticism is coming from?
No, but even Shakespeare, the way it was acted before and the way it is acted now, it was their demands of the times. You know, and a generation is not sometimes others. Generations you find that you don't know what they were living through. You never lived through that thing. And one thing that is very interesting, it is how your generation is daring.
Very.
Do you know what apartheid was all about? Apartheid big Shaila.
First.
And basically like a whole generation yami even before. Because umthetho, you never knew which side, whether you were right or wrong. But you were staying on the side of caution all the time. Utbas. Yes, yabobas. Yep. That's how you did it in order to survive. And is that a way to live? And have we analyzed that? And just showed what it has done. Me only dating gamla. Ngizanechiri gamla. 87. Umama mangena esithola skili lokuzeni. Umama mad. Yebo Mrs. See what I'm talking about? So you guys there's been a terrible disconnect. You don't know what your mom has gone through. If he has lived through apartheid, you don't know it.
Generational trauma, ne?
Exactly. But now we shower PTSD. Ye lokuzana, ye recklessness of living too much fun. You know what I mean? And we're kind of like these extremes. And a generation is not a good judge of itself.
No, it's not.
Yo, a generation is not a good judge of itself. Because it's not aware.
It's not aware. It's like an actor. That is why an actor is a director. That is why even now, you actually have got to have a very astute producer who's looking at your performance and says, all right,
let's go.
Money Morning, the big breakfast show. We're taking small story legend. Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde. What was Team Sam?
Yeah.
See, shows I know it's gonna be the best. He's very good. He's very good in what he's doing. SELLO MAAKE NCUBE. Well done. It's Christina from Ivory Park.
Hi guys in the studio there.
Morning.
Hi Brasilo, Mams Kebengu, Lelo, and DJ's Gupu. Now my question here for Brasilo Ki. I want to know, there's a clip mo yenang le Tembanda ba Brutus le qualification babua ka manganga of something and something more. That clip, was it a script or came to fella it out of their more areng Brutus usoreke Kentlang, and then Brutus replied or in something yako, and then Lena replied Agaswanamo. That clip kills me every time I listen to it. Was it a script or it was just an improvised one?
We did a lot of improv there.
A lot of improv.
Yeah, it was improv. Yeah.
Industry giants doing improv.
Yeah.
You guys are phenomenal. Tembanda,
it was a joy.
You don't get scripted all the time, and I'm also sure when directors script you, they also allow you leeway to just take it as a guide and do your thing.
No, I think somehow the way things are written at times, actors have that leeway. I mean, it actually just goes across the board.
I get you.
And sometimes, directors, I think even writers, actually, they find how an actor embodies a character and begin to write according to how he has actually given the very first interpretation of that. And what I want to say, because I said I'm a, what is it? My blood is black,
your
black
blood
and
is
white,
but
I'm a yellow bone.
Yeah.
It's because so because I was born by pirates.
Yes.
So my blood is black and white. Yeah. So when Pirates and Sundowns play, Ngamba ni winner.
Wow.
Now let me ask you something. I mean, millions of people know you and they've seen you on the TV screen.
Yeah.
But a lot of them have never seen you on stage.
Yeah.
And on top of that, there's this thing called a solo performance.
Yes.
I've seen you playing Ken
Temba, yes.
Oh man, 2017.
Yes.
How is it that you can actually do a script from start to finish for 1.5 hours?
And it was 80 minutes actually, though. Gosh, you do.
But how do you prepare for that?
No, but you do. The plays are interesting in the sense that you actually have weeks of rehearsal.
Yeah.
Usually, when you're shooting, it's like, I've seen maybe on set, people are still like holding like whatever, and and you shoot there, it's done, and you move on to the next.
Yeah.
And whereas with theater, for almost like 4 weeks, every day, you are dealing with that. And that is why I say when I'm on stage, it's like where I feel closer to God. Because for that one moment, when I'm performing that role, and especially the House of Truth, I'm alone. For me, it was like living through the life of Ken Temba. For that moment, SELLO ceases to exist. I am living through what Ken Temba did, what was hitting him, whatever. And when I bow, it's actually now when say, wow, thank you. Almost it's like even a prayer, going through that. And for me, prayer, people pray and we go. Prayer for me, it's acting but telling yourself what you want to have and what you want to be. So when you pray, it's almost like you are writing a script for yourself. That God give me power to get this. But it doesn't mean you got to wait for it to come from heaven. You have to engage the action of going to get that. And most of the time people pray and hope it will happen. No. Prayer is living through the experiences of your desire and making your desire to happen. That's my interpretation.
Have you ever received a bad review for any performance?
I have.
Really?
I have.
And how did you take it?
Hey, that's your opinion. good or bad.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Yeah.
You know, Les Brown says, I don't know, and this is the one thing that I took out from him, and it was like way, I think, in the 80s when I first heard, and I listened to his motivational talk on a VHS, watching a VHS tape. And this thing stayed out in my head, that anybody's opinion of you is not your reality.
That is so true.
Even when you say I'm good, that's your opinion. I know what I'm struggling with.
So when you
I
watch
will
yourself-
take it, say, oh, you know good, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been bad. Thank you. That's your opinion. My reality is what I know, what is the challenge that I have to achieve.
So when you watch back, is it easy, first of all? I want to ask, is it easy to watch back your performances? And what do you think when you critique and review yourself?
I hate it. I don't like watching myself.
Am I the same here, eh?
I really don't like, because I can tell what I was thinking, and somehow because I was thinking that, then I couldn't do that properly.
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
So I was preoccupied. I
Yes.
wasn't living it. So
Fully.
fully.
To execute it
That
the
is
way
why
you
I was saying,
desired.
when you are playing this, a lot of things were just coming through. I was remembering even what I was thinking when we were doing that scene.
So most
And
scenes
that
you
is-
remember
that-
where you were at that moment, even if it's 20
But
years
it's only going to trigger the memory.
Yeah.
So that, that triggered my memory. That's why I say, even for an actor, musicians learn their piano, and then they can play it in the dark. What is the instrument that an actor has got to know? It's your body.
Self.
And you should be able, and you should, you never hear a musician says, no, I'm tired, I can't give you a G, that G. He will give you that G whether he's tired or not. And I think somehow, as actors, we've got to learn and teach ourselves to be able to give what is needed when it is needed, and leave it at that.
Would you ever open a SELLO MAAKE NCUBE School of the Arts?
You see, now you bring me into the politics. I could have done my doctorate,
Yeah.
and I was failed by my ANC government. My PhD was going to be done on a research, action research, because I wanted to train actors to be multilingual. I knocked on their doors. They never made it happen.
But then again, we've got
Sad.
Gayton
There's
Mackenzie.
still
Now, what would
time.
you like
There's
to
still
say?
time.
What would you like to say to Minister Gayton Mackenzie?
Realize that the arts and culture is always regarded as a dumping zone for politicians.
Yeah.
Arts and culture is the soul of the nation. It is the heartbeat of the nation.
His name is
The
Legend.
Afrikaners looked into culture, and that is why they are even strong on their language. What are we strong on? Black goes with everything, and that's the problem. It's like we are vacuum cleaners. We suck everything.
Legendary SELLO MAAKE NCUBE. We're coming back to wrap it up. It's been great celebrating him, giving him his flowers. It's 21 after 8 o'clock on Radio 2000. Our music, your memories. ShopRite and disturbances. Can we also set up a date for a podcast? Oh, the boss is over there. Okay, I'll speak to the boss. Thank you so much. I just want to say, I was reminded by one of our listeners. You're 65, turning 65 this year. Thank you for all the years. Thanks for the
only a
contribution. Only like Al 65. That's why I get all time alaka.
And,
But another.
Sengondanga mina naye.
Yes, exactly.
Ngizohlangana naye elayinini isivasi.
Another caller also said that you're a gentleman, and I want to
Yeah.
agree with that caller. You are such a gentleman. He's a gentleman. He is a humble human being. He's one of the most incredible human beings I have ever met. And thank you for honoring us with your talent and your time. And we'd like to ask you for your last words for our listeners.
My last words, brother, is actually I want to leave a question. We have missed on one big opportunity, and for me it was the Mandela opportunity. We actually failed to own the copyright of representing Mandela. We didn't do that, and we had that in Tengela. But like I said, a generation is not a good judge of itself. Mandela was not having anybody above him to say, hey, wait a minute, don't go that route, don't be accepting of this and this and that. But also I say, can you imagine what if Mandela had his presidential house in Soweto? What would that have done for Soweto? That's a conversation that people can begin to start dealing with that and say, maybe this would have happened, so it wouldn't be what it is today. But here's another thing that do we want, when we were looking for freedom or whatever, did we just want to live how white people live, or we wanted to design how we would have imagined ourselves?
Ponder on that.
Ponder on that.
Drops mic.
Drops mic. Walks away. Like the Julius Malema mic. Dropping at the 10th celebration.
Thank you, guys.
I love you.
I had a wonderful morning. You made my morning. Thank you. Thank you.
So always winning this one, ladies and